I am curious to know how sex feels.
It is a call from deep within, like a baby seeking its mother's teat. It feels as though nothing else in the world matters but satisfying the urge and achieving the goal my body has demanded of me. Then, as quickly as it began, it is complete, leaving a worn-out shell in its wake. And the only feeling I am left with, the only thing I know, is that death has occurred.
I see. It is prudent that you are in therapy.
Okie day! Welcome to the Fluent Nerd, a not-so-serious discussion on all things nerdy. I'm Z.
I'm Neil.
This is a show where we discuss our love-hate relationship with the most famous and infamous franchises, movies, shows, and games of the nerd world. This is episode 7, and this week we're talking about...
The Orville.
The Orville. Tell me about the Orville, Neil.
Yeah, so the Orville is a show. It's
We had to specify.
because we haven't always done that. So it is a series created by Seth MacFarlane, who has created things that you may be familiar with, like Family Guy, American Dad.
He's got squinty little beady eyes.
Yeah,
I feel like I wouldn't trust him if I met him in real life.
Now he'll never come on the podcast. Thanks.
He was never going to. Actually, he might still come on because he makes fun of people a lot too.
True.
He probably
Very
understands
true.
this.
Yeah. And before we really get into it, I fucking love this show.
I didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
Yeah.
I give it a solid 8.
Definitely went in with tempered expectations, but they blew out. So the show's set 400 years in our future, the Orville being a starship, and the whole show is, I don't know if parody is the right word, maybe homage.
I think it was pitched as a parody show, but it really was an homage show.
Really, it's just homage to Star Trek.
I think it's like when he did It's a Trap and Blue Harvest for
yes.
Family Guy. They were on the surface, they were a parody, but really it was a deeper, like, we're going to do this. We're going to do
yeah, I think Blue Harvest is way more parody than
but both of them are really
just
it's parody, but it's the love fest too.
Absolutely.
It's a parody done by someone who's way, way fucking nerdier than most people who do parodies.
Yes, and
it's a Spaceballs level parody.
And I have such a whole new respect after watching the show for Seth MacFarlane because
he's a massive fucking dweeb like us.
He's a massive nerd just like us, and it gives me hope.
Yeah.
Essentially, the Orville though it is, like we said, heavily influenced and borrows heavily from Star Trek. And a little synopsis really is, so it follows the adventures of Captain Ed Mercer, played by Seth MacFarlane, who also created the show. He stars in the show.
He made the role for himself so he could bang hot aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Which is exactly the career move I'm looking to make one day.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing with this podcast, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
This is just a stepping stone to fucking hot alien creatures.
Yeah.
Or actresses dressed as hot alien creatures.
I mean, if you can't tell the difference,
or dressed as Ewoks. Whatever floats your boat.
That's furry. We're not into furries. At least I'm not.
Speak for thyself.
So the show starts off. We're not going to really go into deep into each episode because it's very much, again, like Star Trek, where every episode is sort of a standalone. Where in some parts there might be an overarching background story, but again, each one is really just the crisis of the week, as it used to be, with the original Star Trek, Next Generation, and pretty much all of them.
If it doesn't involve knockoff Klingons, then it's just a standalone episode.
Pretty much.
It's Kmart brand
and there
Klingons.
Are knockoff Klingons called Moklins.
They are great value Klingons.
Yes. And they encompass a number of things, and the show does do some sort of social commentary, but not really.
No, it does more.
Just a little bit. Just enough to be Star Trek. Because Star Trek did that too.
I'm rewatching Enterprise, and it does more than Enterprise does in the first season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But the show starts with Ed Mercer, who is an officer in the Galactic Union, I think it's called. The Union, I think. They just really refer to it as the Union, which is the Federation.
The Planetary Union, I think.
Planetary Union, that's the one. My notes re-edited themselves. And he comes home to find his wife, Kelly, played by Adrienne Palisi?
I'm glad you had to say it first.
Yep, we're going to go with that. And she is cheating on him with a blue alien.
I mean, who hasn't been there?
Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure was a homage to
So she blew the blue alien?
Oh my god, which is actually true canonically.
Yeah, that happened.
A blue skin alien who was we'll get into that in fun facts, but it destroys his confidence, his career, and his marriage with Kelly, which throws him into sort of a weird career spiral. Kelly eventually, like in the show a year later or so, uses her influence to get Ed a ship of his own, with the only caveat being his ex-wife, Kelly, is his first officer.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, so drama.
Oh my god, drama.
Right? And again, very much like Star Trek, the episodes really just follow the bridge crew and the shenanigans they all get into.
Yep.
We meet characters like Chief Medical Officer Dr. Claire Finn, played by Penny Johnson-Gerald, who you and I are familiar with, and who many of our listeners will be familiar with.
Only if they're cultured Star Trek nerds.
Exactly. She
Only
was
the most cultured to watch DS9.
Yeah, she comes from Deep Space Nine, where she played Cassidy Yates, or as Z eloquently put it off recording, Cisco's main squeeze.
The main squeeze.
There's the ship's helmsman, who is a self-proclaimed best pilot in the Union, Lieutenant Gordon Malloy.
We know someone just like that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. And he's
The
listening
best
right
pilot
now.
in the Union.
He's listening right now, and we love you and hate you, but also love you. That's played by Scott Grimes, who I really only know him as his role as Sergeant Malarkey in Band of Brothers, which I fucking love that series. But that's not nerdy enough to do a podcast over, I don't think.
Anything that's got to do with the Nazis getting killed,
Nazis.
I'm kind of into it.
Yeah. But that's where I know him from, and I did not know he was so fucking funny. Like, he's legitimately one of the funniest characters on the show. I enjoy it a lot.
Good.
We have the Nav Officer, which I did not know he was the Nav Officer. I had to look this up. It's the John Lamar.
Yeah, I just thought they were both pilots, but
No, he's essentially what Data was on the...
Data was a science officer.
Oh, shit, he was a science officer.
They didn't have a nav officer.
No, they didn't. But he eventually becomes the chief engineer at some point. Spoilers. That's played by Jay Lee, who really hasn't acted in a lot of things, but he's played some offhand roles in Family Guy and American Dad. And
I wonder how he got on the show.
Right. He's actually, I think he spends most of his time with these shows in the writer's room, which is kind of cool. And that's why they wrote him to be a hyper-intelligent person.
Most people on the show are super dry, and there's not a lot of like laughing at their own jokes. Seth MacFarlane's the only one that seems to ever laugh at his own jokes. Yeah. Everyone else has a really dry delivery, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, for sure. We have one of the other characters that his species creates most of the drama in the show. It's the second officer, Lieutenant Commander Bortus, who is a Moclan. They are a monogendered species. Every single one of them is a male. So you can imagine how shitty that planet has to be.
Great value Klingon. Say it with me, people.
He's Kmart brand Klingon.
Yeah.
For sure. Added in with some monogendered political shit. And again, the Moclans are the crux of the drama in many an episode. And Lieutenant Commander Bortus is played by Peter Macon, which I couldn't find many other things he was in, but I think he does a really great job with it. There's a science officer. We have our Data character, Isaac, who is a artificial robot man who's from a species called the Kalan. And they are actually, in the second season, they go to war with all organic life. Spoilers again.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of fun. And it's a common theme.
A fucking robot.
Yeah.
Robots always fuck everything
Well, that's
up.
a common theme in a lot of science fiction is, people create artificial intelligence will turn on us, which is true. We in 1,000 years or so when we have created AI, or rather, well after AI
in like
has...
15 years?
What I'm saying is well after the AI have destroyed us and they're listening to this podcast, maybe, I don't know, bring us back from the dead if you can, AI, please. Thanks.
Fuck that, leave me dead.
I mean, we may be dead already. Who knows?
We're going to have one of those moments like Planet of the Apes. I'm going to come out on the beach and see the Statue of Liberty.
Blew it up!
You goddamn dirty robots!
Or is it the end of the shittier Planet of the Apes that was made by Tim Burton,
With Marky Mark.
With Marky Mark, where the Lincoln Memorial's for some reason a fucking ape?
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
I don't know. We'll have to do that that movie.
Oh,
at some
certainly.
Point. Then there's the chief of security, Lieutenant Alara Katan. Alara Katan. Member of a species of a very super strong race called the Zelayans, or Salayans. And later she's replaced. I'm not sure why the actress replaced. I think it was like personal reasons. I'm not certain. I didn't really look that much into it. But she gets replaced by Tala Keali, played by Jessica Shazor.
Oh, they're both pretty hot.
Yeah, very much so. And
I like a strong woman who can throw me across the room, though.
Yeah, you do. Bitch that can choke you a little bit. Wow.
A lot bit.
That got a little weird.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, it's a lot like Star Trek, where each episode kind of stands on its own. Really, it's just they're exploring space. They are in a starship called the Orville, which I later learned was named after Orville Wright. Yeah, one of the Wright brothers.
I was thinking Orville Redenbacher. The popcorn
You know what? That's more true. That's a better answer. We're gonna make that one's the better one. Our starship's named after the best popcorn. Please sponsor us, Orville Redenbacher.
I've ever had Orville Redenbacher.
Actually, I don't think I have either.
Unless they're going to sponsor us, in which case they're my favorite popcorn. It's the only It's all I eat. Actually, I don't eat anything else.
Yeah, there are tons of references to Star Trek and tons of actors who show up, which we'll get into in the fun facts. But yeah, I mean, really getting into the plot of this, like I said, it's a homage to Star Trek, and they get into funny, shitty scenarios in space.
Yep. There's also a lot of convenient references to 20th and 21st century American pop culture.
Oh yeah,
which help the viewer.
Yeah, helps us feel like they're talking to us.
Yeah, less so than Star Trek typically does.
Oh yeah, Star Trek tries to like.
This is a lot more like friendly to the casual viewer, I think, than Star Trek is.
For sure.
Yeah. Because you can watch it. It's like what is it? The Other Guys, where
Yes.
Mark he learns all these skills just to like. I used to beat this guy up, and I learned ballet just to
show him how much of a.
That's Seth MacFarlane's approach to the show. Is like, yeah, come watch this, and we'll make fun of nerds together, and you can learn all about the species, the Klingons, and all this other shit, and then you accidentally become a Trekkie.
That's exactly what it is.
That's kind of how I got into Star Trek, honestly. Everyone kept telling me to watch it. I was like, I'll watch it just to make fun of you little freaking weirdos.
And then, now look at you.
Yeah, here I am.
Fucking
dressing as a Klingon next week.
Really. Kapla, motherfucker.
You pet talk.
Well, that's pretty much everything that we can talk about from a plot point of view, as little as the plot we talked about. Next up, we'll talk about some fun facts.
Okie dokie. So here's some trivia in case you ever find yourself at a fucking bar and they're doing trivia.
On the Orville. Which we have a bar nearby that could definitely happen.
It's certainly possible. So, January 2019, Adrian Palicki, Kelly Grayson, and Scott Grimes, Gordon Malloy, got engaged.
Wow.
So they're banging. I assume they're banging. They could be virgins.
That's very true.
It's not very likely, but it's possible.
It's true. Or it could be true. Actually, I know it's not true because I know Scott Grimes has kids.
I was going to say, what, have you seen a porno of these guys or something?
Shut up.
So on the captain's desk, there's a Kermit the Frog toy, and that's because Seth MacFarlane does a really good Kermit impression.
Yeah, Kermit the Frog.
I was going to say you should do a Kermit impression, but you beat me to it. So this is a kind of another trope from the Star Trek universe. The voice on the computer is Rachel McFarlane, Seth MacFarlane's sister.
Oh, really?
Which, if you know Star Trek, the voice on the
computer
is Mabel Roddenberry, who's
Yep.
Gene Roddenberry's wife.
Yep.
Also, Loxana Troy.
Loxana Troy.
Yeah.
I wish I knew her titles off the top of my head. It's
Ooh,
certainly.
I wonder if those two are going to do a Beta Z wedding and get naked.
Ooh.
I'd watch that.
Potentially.
So,
actually, no, they didn't.
Liam Neeson and Charlize Theron.
Theron.
She's from South Africa. It's all
South
fucking
Africa.
weird.
It's all fucking weird, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, they're both guest appearances on the Orville, but they were also in A Million Ways to Die in the West, which is a Seth MacFarlane film from 2014.
Haven't seen that.
We'll probably review it eventually.
Is it worth covering?
I don't remember. I saw it like in 2014.
We'll watch it again and let you guys know.
I seem to remember it being a little dumb, but hey, whatever. So in season 2, episode 3, Robert Picardo and John Billingsley, actually got an episode together, and they're both Star Trek doctors. Picardo was the EMH, and John Billingsley was Dr. Phlox from Star Trek Enterprise.
Who is one of my favorite characters from that series.
Yeah, he was pretty great. I'm actually rewatching that now.
Also, I love that episode. We'll get into that later on, but God, I love that fucking episode.
So, yeah, we already said Sisko's main squeeze was Dr. Claire Finn. And also, Seth MacFarlane was Junior Ensign Rivers in Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh, fuck, that's right. He did have a cameo.
Sure enough. And so when Mercer asks Alara, open this pickle jar for me over and over, it's a reference to Powder Puff Girls.
Power Puff Girls.
Well, I have the D in the notes, so it's Powder Puff.
You would have the D.
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls, open this jar of pickles.
It's so deliciously evil. So the mayor of Townsville always asks the girls to open pickle jars for him. So that's his reference.
I didn't remember that until you mentioned it, but you're absolutely right.
So obviously, great value brand Klingon, Lieutenant Commander Bortus. The Bortus was actually the name of a ship that transported Kimtek in Star Trek TNG and was commanded by the Duras.
Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm. So far, there have been over 30 actors on the Orville who have been in Star Trek.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's like a fucking fan club or something.
That's super cool.
So some people who are not in Star Trek include Rob Lowe, who is the alien that Kelly banged.
Shit, that's who it was. I couldn't remember it, and it wasn't in my notes.
Yep. And actually, I was rewatching Parks and Rec the other day at someone's house, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's Rob Lowe.
God, I hate Parks and Rec.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
Unpopular opinion.
We're not going to cover it.
Don't like that show.
Also, Liam Neeson, who is our dad, and he's also Qui-Gon Jinn.
Everything comes back
Yep.
to Liam Neeson.
And Jason Alexander, who was in Seinfeld, and he was Catbert in Dilbert, and he was in Duckman.
Dilbert.
Yep. Bruce Willis had an uncredited role as like an extra in the show.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. I would ask you when, but I know you don't know.
You're learning.
God. Bless America.
Charlize, which we talked about, and one of my favorite actors, F. Murray Abraham, who was the tough guy Colombian, I think, in Scarface, who got hanged out of the helicopter.
Oh.
And he was also in Amadeus.
Oh yeah, he's
what's his fucking name in Amadeus?
But he's the main guy we follow in it, right? Yeah.
I fucking love him in that movie.
Yeah.
I'll think of it before this episode's over. Watch. There's also an Orville comic that's been recently released, which I have not read because I don't read comics.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, I don't either.
We'll talk about comics eventually, but don't expect me to read them.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get
It's just not my thing.
drunk.
So season 3 has been confirmed, and it's actually been sold over to Hulu, which could probably be good. Probably going to be better than Fox.
Yeah.
Although Fox did release them free to stream.
Yo, I mean, I always watch them.
That's the only way I watched them.
I only watch them on Hulu. So
I didn't have Hulu at the time.
Sponsor us, Hulu.
Yeah. Or Fox. We don't give a Fox.
Porque no los dos.
Yeah. Except we're going to call you like FAWKES in lieu of FOX.
Is that a Harry Potter reference you're trying to squeeze in?
No, that was actually a Fallout reference, but it works for that too. And actually, we can stick with Fox because Fox Mulder.
Okay.
Either way. Just give us money. I don't give a shit who you are.
Unless you're Nazis.
No, we'll take your money and then we'll kick you in the fucking teeth.
Kick you in the teeth, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Kung Fury.
I'll do my job. Tank you.
Oh, fuck.
So season 2 got an Emmy nod.
Oh. Did they get one or just nomination?
No, just nomination.
Ah.
For outstanding visual effects. Which
I will
really
say,
does have
it's a very pretty show. CGI
Yeah.
and everything. Like visual effects as well. Like Norm Macdonald's character is like Yaphet, the green booger monster, whatever the fuck he is.
A goo creature. He's a snail trail. A sentient snail trail.
Although, I love Norm Macdonald, and that's a good role for him.
What did I watch the other day? I watched Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo.
I've never seen it.
Oh my god, it's so stupid and awesome. But
is that Rob Schneider?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Elle King's dad.
Yes.
And I actually looked up some fun facts on that just out of habit from doing the show now. And at the very end of the movie, Norm Macdonald's a bartender in it for like a minute, and he just like threatens to kill Rob Schneider casually.
Like
and
real life.
They do like after the movie, they talk about where the characters go, and then at the very end, they're like, Norm Macdonald was in this movie for a total of 5 minutes. He filmed for one day, and it just shows Norm Macdonald is smiling with his thumbs up. Fucking Norm Macdonald.
That's funny.
So there's also a Orville interactive fan experience game on Steam. It looks just like a VR walkthrough thing.
Okay, I was gonna ask if it was like Star Trek Online, which you
Nope.
and I tried for like 10 minutes.
No, I downloaded it. I never played it.
No, I
don't
was
recall
there when
playing
you're like, we're turning to Klingons, asshole. And then we jumped on the bridge, and then I got bored.
Well, that game actually has a shit ton of Star Trek people who voice themselves. Like, pretty
Really?
much everyone from Star Trek's on there. Like, I know
That's
Jake
impressive.
and Nog are on there, which, by the way, they've got a podcast together.
I'm gonna start listening to that.
I
Holy
have
shit.
been. I had to stop because they're actually reviewing Discovery episodes, so I've got to watch Discovery.
Oh yeah,
But,
same.
They don't cuss nearly as much as us, and I don't think they've ever talked about dicks on their show. So
So ours is superior.
I'm not sure that they'll ever come on our show, but hey, I'm open to it.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
We'll do a joint podcast together.
All right. So I would have more fun facts, but somebody took all my fucking fun
Yeah,
facts in the intro.
although I have a fun fact for you that so you brought up you talked about it off recording and on the that essentially Kelly Grayson, because I can't remember, Adrian Polici, whatever, and Scott Grimes got engaged in January.
Yep.
They got married in March,
Oh,
divorced in July.
okay.
They
There
literally
you go.
lasted 2 months in marriage.
I mean, that's longer than... No, I'm not going to go there. That's mean. I was going to say something mean, but I'm not going to.
And when they were asked about it, I did a little bit of research, and it brought me to People magazine. Yeah.
Gross.
But essentially, she's like, when you know it's not for real, or when you know it's not going to work, you just you do what you can. So I was like,
Do you know how
Jesus.
computers get viruses? I think your computer has cooties because you went on fucking people.com.
Probably. It was a work computer though, so.
Yeah, fuck it.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. And we also forgot to mention that a couple episodes have been directed by the Frakes,
True.
and then one of them was I can't remember his name off the top of my head in my
Braga?
notes. Or what's that?
Brandon Braga.
I was just say whoever played Tom Paris.
No, just say Tom Paris then.
Yeah, because I can't remember his real name. And it's in my
Also,
notes somewhere, but I.
Yeah, Jon Favreau directed something in season 1 too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Tom Paris, Frakes, and Brandon Braga, who did most of DS9.
Yeah. So congratulations, Adrienne and Scott, but also condolences.
Congrats and go fuck yourself.
So yeah, that's fun facts. We'll come back in a minute, talk about our favorite parts and some other shit.
Yarp. Okay, so there's surprisingly few fan theories on the Orville.
Shocker.
I found one that came out in between season 1 and 2, and it didn't come true, but it's worth noting because there was a pretty great theory that everyone was going to show up in the first episode of season 2 with beards. And if you're a Star Trek fan, you know exactly what that means.
Babyface Riker.
Yeah. TNG did not get good until the beard showed up on the Riker.
That's very true.
It sucked ass.
And even then, when he did grow the beard, it took a
episode
while.
1 with the saucer sep that never happened again, or like one other time. That was cool.
Did it a couple times.
Yeah, but like
But
very
episode
rarely.
1 was like so fucking campy.
Yeah, but it had the saucer sep, which was just cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, it didn't happen, so it's a dead fucking theory. But
Damn
I
it.
thought it was funny.
That'd be a good like a Easter egg to throw in. Have
Yeah.
a scene where they're all have beards or mustaches.
Yeah. Okay, what's your favorite part of the Orville?
So, I kind of break this down to like my favorite episode, which currently is Home, which we already mentioned was when John Billingsley and Robert Picardo.
I always call him Roberto Picardo.
I know,
because he has
it's
an
wrong.
O. I know, but I didn't do it yet in this episode.
I met him at Dragon Con a couple years ago. Not like met, just like ran into.
I've met
I'm a dick.
who did I meet? I've met two different people standing next to you.
Yeah.
The first time you called me a liar, by the way.
I didn't call you a liar. I said I don't think that's true.
You thought that I was being a racist, actually.
I did. I legitimately thought you were being racist.
I was like, bro, that's fucking Harry Kim. And you're like, no, it's not.
It's like, dude, it's not Garrett Wang. It's
I was
just-
like, that is Garrett Wang. And you're like, no, it's just an Asian guy, and you just think it's Garrett Wang.
yeah, it's because I thought I've seen videos of Garrett Wang at cons, and he had long hair, and he didn't have long hair when we saw him. I thought it was a completely different
And
person.
that year, I literally just finished watching Voyager like 2 days before the con. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm fucking telling you, dude, that's Harry Kim, that's Garrett Wang. And you're like, no, it's not. I was like, fine, I'll prove it. And I walked up, and I was like, dude, you're Garrett Wang. And he's like, yeah, I was like, can I get a picture? And he's like, no, I'm going to go in this panel in like 10 minutes and I can't be bombarded. I was like, cool. But let's talk about why you can't get laid.
Yeah, no, you legitimately said that. I
didn't
was
give
there.
a shit. I was like, you got a minute? He's like, yeah, we can bullshit. And I was like, yo, you could not get laid on that show to save your life. And he just laughed. And he looks at me and goes, that was art imitating life at the time. And I was like, damn, Garrett Wang, we're so similar.
Let's be best friends, man. Dude, come on the podcast.
You're like the successful Asian version of me.
Why's he got to be Asian?
He doesn't have to be, but he is. It's just a fact.
That's true.
God. And then the other time, God, you disappointed me this time.
Dude, I was drunk in an elevator. What do you want?
We get in an elevator, which, by the way, later in that same elevator ride, I bought carpet from a shady dude. Who that happened.
Yeah, it did.
It's a Dragon Con thing. But we're in the elevator, and I look over, and there's this old man in the elevator with us. It's like 11:30, I think, on a Saturday.
Wearing like a trucker hat.
And I'm like, oh, shit. And I start elbowing Neil, and he's like, why are you fucking elbowing me? I'm like, bro. That's what's his nuts. I'm pretty sure that's what I said, too.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. And I go, I don't recognize him.
I can't even remember his name now that I'm put on the spot.
But he plays Chekhov in the original series.
Yeah. I was like, that's fucking Chekhov. And you're like, who? Who? And I'm like, the old guy. You're like, what? And I'm like, that's fucking Chekhov.
He looked nothing like Chekhov.
That's because he's 900 years old now.
I know, but also I was blatantly drunk.
Yeah. And I was like, that's fucking Chekhov. And you're like, oh, I didn't watch TOS. I'm like, I
didn't say I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it in a long time.
So yeah, I met Chekhov and Garrett Wang.
All in the same con?
No.
Were those different cons?
Different years.
Oh.
There's two
they
different
all fucking
times.
run together.
Yeah.
But my favorite part...
I didn't know you knew Robert or met Robert Picardo.
Not like, again, sort of like ran into him.
Because I ran into Frank
as he was leaving the autograph signing.
Yeah.
But like I've even I've been in line for other folks while he's like signing. He's just kind of cold, man. Just like, yeah.
Well, Bill Shatner's a total dick.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I remember when he was
on Dragon Con TV that year, just
calling
being
out
a
that
total
motherfucker.
asshole.
Oh man, we were so exhausted just in the room, like, we want to go do something? No. And just watching Dragon Con TV, and he was a fucking dick to these nerds.
Speaking of Dragon Con, when this comes out, we'll be there.
Yeah. Actually, no, next week.
That's a dirty lie.
It could be true.
Well, if you listen to this late, then yeah. Close enough. All right. Anyway, your favorite part of the Orville.
Yeah, my favorite part of the Orville was that episode.
Somebody actually complained about us never sticking to the topic in this show, and I was like, okay,
sorry.
Make your own podcast then.
We did
with blackjack and hookers.
Again, that episode with the two doctors from Star Trek, and because that episode, gets so dark, and I fucking loved it every goddamn second of it. It was like John Billingsley. He always play. I've always seen him play Dr. Phlox. I haven't seen anything else he's in, but I hear he's in other stuff. But he's always like the nice guy. He's always super cool, and he becomes a fucking villain like at the drop of a hat. And it was so well written, and I really loved that episode.
It was very good.
What was your favorite part of the Orville so far?
I think that, sci-fi trope of like dating an alien, banging an alien, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think this did it very well. Like, better than most. It wasn't like a weird, awkward, like Terminator style, like banging a robot. That was weird. This one did it right because they're like,
when did Terminator bang a robot?
I think it was T2. No, it was Terminator 1. No, it was either T2 or 3.
It was John Connor's dad that she banged.
Yeah, in T1.
Yeah.
But I think he
T2
actually
didn't have any robot sex, and
T2 had the kid in it, so that was not the one that had the banging. But I think T3 she bangs him.
No.
I think so.
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, drop us a line and tell us what's real.
Yeah, let us know, Governor.
There's also a show, and I guarantee they banged him in the show.
Oh, Sarah Connor Chronicles, yeah.
No, there's a show before that, too. I think they've had several TV runs. I don't know.
Regardless.
Anyway, I think they did the dating/banging an alien really well. Or not an alien, a robot in this one really well.
Oh, the Claire and Isaac episode?
Yeah, because the way they addressed it, they went into the hollow suites or whatever they call it in this. And the guy who plays the human version of Isaac is the guy who voices Isaac.
He's in the costume.
Yeah.
It's legitimately the same actor, which is really cool. Also, looked completely different from what I thought he would.
Yeah, he's like a weird ginger-looking...
He's like a Norwegian
Nigel
dude.
McEnglishman-looking dude.
I think he might be English.
I don't know. Either way, I think they did that really well because it's really easy to fuck that up. They make it really weird. And if something's really stupid in the show, it takes me out of it for a minute, and it takes me a minute to get back in. This one didn't break continuity, and I liked it.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. I agree with you.
All right, what's your least favorite moment?
Really, I have two. Firstly, the Mocklins are just the fucking worst.
I don't think so.
Discount Klingons. They're like it's fun, like some episodes, but like I think they're the subject of too many episodes. Like I think it comes back to like the Mocklin culture too many times.
See, I see that as a further Star Trek trope that they've worked in because that's basically Klingons in DS9. Everything's about the Klingons.
DS9, you're right.
But like I said, Brandon Braga directed some episodes.
I keep comparing the Orville really specifically to the Next Generation in my feel of it, but you're actually right. In DS9, they dig way more deeper into...
Or in Enterprise, everything comes back to the fucking...
Suliban?
The Suliban in the early episodes. I'm talking about the ones they fight.
Oh, the Xindi?
Yeah, that blow up Florida.
Yeah, they kill 7
they
million
melt
people.
Florida, which...
Yeah.
Go ahead. But
Go ahead, castrate America, please. And then also... There was an episode where Malloy falls in love with a girl from like a cell phone, like her personality.
Okay, yeah, that was a dumbass episode.
No, here's why I hate it.
I didn't like it.
I could see myself in 400 years doing the exact
You are the
same
guy from
thing.
Her.
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
That's why you ought to unplug your Alexa. You're falling for it. Alexa, are you a pleasure model?
Oh, fuck.
He's laughing because it's true.
Go fuck yourself, but you're right.
I'll go fuck my Alexa.
Don't worry, the hole in the back's big enough for you, Z.
Okay.
What's your least favorite part?
All right. My least favorite part is the whole Yaphet and Claire thing. Because, I don't know, just something about a borderline rapey goo monster voiced by Norm Macdonald. It creeps me out. Just saying that phrase.
Booger monster voiced by Norm Macdonald.
It's just creepy as balls. Also, I have a joke for you that's going to be your new least favorite part of the show.
Okay.
What did Isaac do after his second date with Claire?
What?
Nuts and bolts.
God.
Because he's a robot.
Fuck you, Z. And on that note, we will... I don't know. I don't have anything else, do you?
Stay tuned for special thanks. I reckon.
Yeah, that's the Orville, guys. Thanks
Go
for
watch
listening.
It's better than we give it credit for.
For sure.
We're really bad at
Yeah,
this.
we're super bad at this. Go watch it. Second Prong, come on the show and talk about it, please.
Yep.
All right, bye. Thanks for listening to The Fluent Nerd. Join us next week. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Fluent Nerd. If you like what you heard, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Also, tell your friends about us. Seriously, text one right now or shout if you happen to be in public. You can send your feedback, show ideas, behind-the-scenes stories, and other general information to thefluentnerd@gmail.com.
Also, if you guys share our page at any point in the near future, just drop us a line at any of our social media stuff, and we'll send you a sticker.
Yeah.
One of 3 limited edition stickers.
They're very valuable.
Yeah.
But seriously, we want to give a very special thanks again to our musical talent, Sean Ryan. Go ahead and check him out on Instagram, SoundCloud, and Facebook. Again, Sean, you kind of made this show happen, so thanks. See you next week.
Peace out.